Wonderful. Now we are going to test with expired token. I provided expired token here. I'm going to press send button. See here, we are going to see some magic. Actually, we have a token. I press view. We have a header, payload, and signature. All is there. But I copy the Unix timestamp. I go to Google, paste it, press convert. This is the expiry date and time. Great. Now I switch back to our code. I close this. I'm going to press F10. Oops. We have a clear error message. What it says? Lifetime validation is failed. What is lifetime validation is failed? We already specified validate lifetime. This is one of the rules we define in the token validation parameters. As a result, the validate token will use to validate this token based on this defined rules. So one rule is failed. What is the rule? Lifetime validation is failed because this token is valid until this period only. Obviously, the token is expired. See, what is the nice feature in ASP.NET Core? The inbuilt validate token help us a lot. It used to validate the token properly. We are returning this error message to the Postman. Press continue. Great. We got the error message. You got it? How the server automatically validates the token if it is expired. Next is I'm going to regenerate a token. Press send button. I don't want to debug. Press continue. Great. We have a new token. I copy this token. This is the new token which is valid one, but I'm going to provide some invalid token. I provided something like Muthu. This is called tampered with. Hacker will guess and generate some invalid tokens and try to trigger your API. Now I am going to paste it. We will test it out. How the server validates the token. I press send. We can see the magic. We have a token. I mouse over and press view. This is our token which contains Muthu and we are trying to decode the token. Press F10. Oops, we are getting some error. What is happening? See here, it gives you a clear information where it cannot decode the token. It says that unable to decode the header only. The first sector is a header. The second segment is a payload. The third is a signature. So obviously we can understand the header something wrong. So you can easily go and check what is happening in your token. Great. I press continue. Now what I am going to do, this time I put invalid data in between of the payload, right? I copy this, paste it. You can see here, we try to add something. This is called tamper. This is not an actual token. A hacker somehow trying to add something in the token. So we have to validate properly in the API side. I press send button. Now we are going to see a magic. We have a token. See here, we are able to decode header properly, but unable to decode the payload. And also we are unable to decode the signature. How is the relationship between header and payload? For the signature, as I mentioned earlier, signature is a combination of header and payload and also a security key. Three things are valid only. The server will generate a signature. As a result, you cannot see the signature and obviously you cannot decode the token. The reason is in the payload we already tampered something. That's why server cannot decode the token. Wonderful. I hope now you understood. I press F10. See here, unable to decode the payload. In the last error, we saw unable to decode the header, but this time the error message shows unable to decode the payload. Great. I press continue. You can see the clear error message along with the 401 unauthorized. Next is what I am going to do. I put something invalid to the signature section. Now header will be valid, payload will be valid, but signature will be incorrect. I copy this, paste it, press send. Now I mouse over to the token, click view. See here, we have header and payload, and this time we have signature. Now you may have a question. Hey Muthu, how come the signature does not show empty? By right it shows empty, but the signature contains value. How come it possible? Obviously header and payload shows the proper decoded information. The reason is we didn't tamper anything in the header and payload section. Only we tampered something in the signature. The actual reason the server does not decode the signature. That's why it shows invalid signature, but while validating the token, the server will understand it's something the token is tampered with. I close this. I press F10. Nice. We got an error message. Something it shows relevant to the token's KID is missing. I click view details. See what is saying? The server tries to decode the token, but somehow the token is failed to decode. Why it's failed to decode? The signature validation is failed. I can copy this and paste it here. See here, we are receiving security token signature key not found exceptions. So something wrong with the signature key. You may have a question, why the server understands it's a invalid signature? You need to understand clearly what is happening behind the scene. Then itself in the upcoming videos, you can clearly understand what is validation, what will happen if you send a invalid token, what will happen if you send a expired token. All things you need to know clearly. What you send from the encoded signature, server tries to convert into decoded signature, and internally server also create a decoded signature using your header and payload and along with the secret key. You should not expose this secret key to anyone else. That's why I'm always saying this plain text is very important. So server automatically anticipate what should be the decoded token. So when you decode this token, server understands, it's not match. So the validate token immediately throws error. That is why we are seeing this error message. It all behind the .NET future. I press continue. See, we have a clear error message response along with 401 unauthorized. Now what I'm going to do, I didn't provide the signature this time. I pass only header and payload. What will happen? I press send. Now I mouse over to the token view. See here, the server unable to decode your token because we don't have signature in the token. As a result, the server cannot identify what is decode value. Press F10. See, we have a clear error message. JWT must have 3 segments, but we sent only 2 segments, which we missed out the signature. Press continue. Great. I hope you understood. Now what I'm going to do, I'm not going to provide payload segment this time. I provide header and signature. Press send. I try to mouse over the token view. I try to JWT decode. See, it cannot convert to decoded token. The reason is we didn't send a payload, so we were unable to identify the token. I press F10. See again, JWT must have 3 segments. This is the basic validation in the server. Please always remember that JWT contains 3 segments. Great. We got a 401 unauthorized error along with the detailed error message. The last one is we are going to remove the header. Press send. Mouse over to the token view. Again, server unable to decode the token. Obviously, we didn't send the header section. As a result, it cannot decode it. I press F10. It throws error. JWT must have 3 segments. Continue. Great. I hope now you understood how to validate the token. Finally, we are going to send a valid token once again. Mouse over to the token view. See, we have a header, payload, and signature. Close this. I'm going to press F10. This time the token will be success or not? Yes, it is success because we generated a new token and passed the token. That's it. Press continue. Welcome admin, you are authorized. I hope now you understood how to validate the token. The token is very important if you want to be a pro developer in .NET. I can show you very detailed in the authentication and authorization in the upcoming videos. After learning all the videos, you will be a pro developer how to implement the authentication and authorization. In the upcoming video, I will also show you how to validate the token automatically. In this video, we are validating the token manually, but in the real-time practice, we are not performing manual validations. And for your learning purposes only, I have shown how the .NET Core behind work for the manual validations.